Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of the Catholic League Forum. I'm Mike McDonald, Director of Communications of the Catholic League. Joining me today is Bill Donohue, President and CEO of the Catholic League. Now, Bill, we've had a very busy summer here, and in our last summer update, we gave people a little bit of an overview of the vandalism, the violence that's being committed against Catholic Church, Catholic, and other pro-life pregnancy centers. But this month, we've been looking at sort of where some of the genesis of this violence is coming from. And one of the things that really jumped out in some of your reporting has been on the media has been driving this. In the beginning of the month, we had to deal with an Addlepated columnist from MSNBC. Bill, can you tell the good folks at home what Addlepated means? That was a big question we got.
Yeah, and a lot of people ask me. I'm just playing little games. All it does mean he's confused. He's a confused man who works at MSNBC. Why is he confused? Well, he bounces from one religion to another. He's looking for peace and harmony, which is good. I hope he keeps looking. Maybe he'll find the Catholic Church, because he's all over the map on this thing. But our big concern with him is that he has a problem with the Catholic Church. Again, we have too many Catholics on the Supreme Court. Well, wait a minute. Do we have too many blacks playing basketball? Do we have too many white people playing hockey? Before Ruth Bader Ginsburg was on the court for a very long time. She passed away. At one time we had Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Breyer, he's now retired, and we have Elena Kagan. Okay, all three of them happen to be Jewish. Well, Jews are about 2% of the population, but they're a third of the Supreme Court at one point. Was that a problem? It wasn't a problem for me or for you, except for anti-Semitic bigots. Too many Jews on the court. But nobody seemed to complain about that. They complained about too many Catholics on the court. And that's what this guy from MSNBC said.
Right.
And another
and
genius.
He wasn't alone in that.
No. There was another genius out of Princeton, a poet. He didn't know it, but he's a poet.
I believe it was Rutgers.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was Rutgers.
Barbarisi,
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. It wasn't Princeton. It was Rutgers because he was complaining the Catholic Church is tax exempt. Does this genius know where he works? Rutgers is a tax-exempt institution, but here's a problem with the church's teachings on sexuality, woman, the whole thing. You all heard it before. It always comes down to sex.
Yeah.
I love it when they say that we're obsessed with sexuality. No, these people here are our most vociferous critics are the ones who are actually the ones who are obsessed about sexuality.
Yeah. One day we'll get to Princeton, but right now they haven't done anything wrong.
We can talk about critical race theory and what they've done there, but that's another subject.
Right. We definitely dive into that. And just looking at, again, the media attacks on Catholics, in the last week, there's probably been a rash of attacks on traditional Catholics, people that like going to the Latin Mass. They're
a threat.
Yeah, they're a threat. Yeah. We're seeing this all over the media. The Atlantic got a lot of play for their piece comparing the Rosary and gun violence. But it wasn't just the Atlantic. It was the Daily Beast, CNN as well jumped in, and a couple of other smaller outlets kind of echoed that. Can you tell us what's going on there, Bill?
Yeah, trads, radical Catholics, trads, cats. I don't keep up with these people. Look, where this is coming from is this. The Catholic Church, as everybody knows, was the one that fought Roe v. Wade. Right. We were by ourselves in 1973. Others came on board later, thank God. Now, we have a lot of Catholics on the Supreme Court. They're making decisions based on science. Actually, in this particular case, on being faithful to a proper understanding of the Constitution. It has nothing to do with religion. It's not even have to do with science per se. It really deals with, was Roe v. Wade, Harry Blackmun wrote the opinion, was that good jurisprudence or were they making up law on the fly? That's what this Supreme Court argued correctly. And even people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who understood that she was in favor of abortion rights, but the court should not make that decision. Well, anyhow, in the aftermath, there's been a rash of vandalism and the like. Now we get people here trying to demonize traditional Catholics. See, they're going to start with the people here who are the most orthodox and try to go after them. The piece in the Atlantic was mind-boggling. We got a lot of good media hits off of it this week. But, I mean, the idea that a rosy is a symbol of violence, I mean, it's not just a stretch. You have to begin to wonder what's going on inside these people's heads. What is it they fear about traditional Catholics? Why is the Latin Mass now become nefarious? The search for a boogeyman is what we're dealing with here. They want to demonize Catholics. They want to marginalize them. They're going to start with the traditional ones, the more observant ones, and then they'll go from there. And some guy from CNN was kicking in, too. They're all Christian nationalists, whatever that is. We keep trying to find out who they are. I'd like to meet them, but you know, there really is. The hyperbole is really at a fever pitch. We're not talking about reasonable people who have objections to the Catholic Church's teachings on some public policy issue. That's fine. Let's debate it. We're dealing with irrationalism.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bill, it is bad enough seeing all these attacks coming from the media. Like they've got obviously a very big bullhorn there, and are able to influence people to act, to think certain ways. But it's more concerning when it's coming from the government, particularly the federal government. You had a good call to action this month, focusing on a little bit of wonky stuff here, but HHS is trying to reform Section 1557 of the Affordable Care Act. And what exactly are they trying to do in those reforms?
Well, you know, President Obama, before he came out in favor of gay marriage, was against it. All right, I say that because when you look back at the legislation over the years, there's always been a concern about discriminating against women. All right, so that's why they have all these Title VII and many other provisions in the 1964 Civil Rights Act. We don't want discrimination on the basis of sex. Now, fast forward to beyond Obama, and we're getting into the area now of sexual orientation and gender, which what they mean basically is this whole idea of transitioning. Okay? Now, all of a sudden, gender ideology, gender identity, along with sexual orientation, they're trying to conflate that into these provisions in the civil rights laws, saying that you can't discriminate against these people. That's not what the people meant when they wrote the law. If you want to write a new law, fine, present it, and if you can get it passed, that's fine. But what this would do is this. This amendment to Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, would, if they succeed, deny the right of Catholic doctors and hospitals not to perform abortions and sex reassignment surgery. Now, can you imagine, let's say you have a practicing Catholic doctor in Missouri, and he says, listen, I'm not going to engage in genital mutilation, chemical castration. That's what we're talking about, people here. Tough language, but that's what's going on here. And they're talking about young people, not just, you know, some 50-year-old. We're talking about young people, sometimes behind the back of the parents. That's what's going on. And they're gonna take away the religious liberty of Catholic hospitals and Catholic doctors and nurses, making them perform abortions and sex reassignment surgery, the transition. Either that or you lose federal dollars, which basically shuts them down. Now, we're doing something about it. Why don't you tell the viewers about what we're doing and what maybe they can do?
Yeah. So this is, again, very complicated, wonky thing that the government does. But whenever they try and change a rule, Bill, they have to issue a period for public comment. So this is an opportunity for everyone in the nation to comment on what's going on. So if you go to our website, catholicleague.org, and we'll have a link in the description below, both to Bill's great article on this, but also to where you can make a comment. And we'll have that up on the front page of the website as well. And you can tell them in about 2,000 characters what exactly your problems with it. And if you could keep your emphasis on the threat to religious liberty, because they group these things all together, but if you could really hammer the point home that this is going to be a dangerous threat to religious liberty, hammer that home so this way when they do go through it, they have to at least respond to you. I mean, the government's probably going to do whatever the government wants to do, but if they hear enough from people that are upset, it might change their thinking and will give us stronger ground in the future for the for another administration to go through and change these policies.
Right. We can't win every battle. We understand that. But we have a moral obligation to be in these battles.
Absolutely.
And the people listening to this video need to get involved as well. You have until October 3rd. It sounds like a long time. It's not that far away. And I would get it in as fast as you can. Get it off your desk. Like Mike said, focus in on the religious liberty implications of what will happen to Catholic doctors and hospitals. This is something, obviously, if the Biden administration goes forward, it'll wind up in the Supreme Court and like. But let's get the Catholic voice heard, and let's get it heard now. It's a little bit like Mike says, wonky. They make you go through these steps. We can't control that, but we can say is this: we implore Catholics to be involved and make your voice heard.
Yep, and if every Catholic was to get involved and really drive this point home on religious liberty, it's going to make it stronger, like you said, for the Supreme Court, future administrations. So do check out our website, catholicleague.org. We'll have a link in the description below. And any help that you can give on this fight, it's very important that Catholics do take a strong stand here. Like Bill said, we are called to put our faith into action. So let's let's get involved. And one little bit of housekeeping, Bill, before we wrap up. I've been getting questions about this, and I'm pleased to announce to our dear viewers out there that check in on us every week. We are coming back weekly after Labor Day. So about 2 weeks, we'll be back Friday, giving you a rundown on everything that's been going on in the Catholic League. We hope you've enjoyed the summer updates, and thank you again for watching. And any likes and subscribes you could throw our way, we greatly appreciate. Thanks so much. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.